So the next use case we're going to show is something actually in the medical domain to show a certain vertical that can really be optimized by different agents. So the first agent here is actually a QA agent, which I mentioned earlier is all about getting information out of people's heads. So like by asking kind of the usual questions. So the first question you would say is this: hi, you're activating it. I think it would be pretty cool in the future that the agent actually comes up to you. So what's your name? I'm James, for example. It's now going to ask me about my kind of medical history. So I was diagnosed with X amount 5 years ago. Sending that over. The next one is looking at, what is your actual diagnosis now? Why have you come to see Dr. Wellman today? That goes out. And then finally, it's going to say, how long you've been feeling that way. I'm going to say, it started last night, but it's gone a bit worse. So the whole point of this is for the agent to kind of talk to you and get information. The next thing we look at is, now that it's got this information, what does it do with it? So it's going to give you a response here. So it's obviously in this conversation picked out all the information about the patient. And it's going to, so you can see here, it's got all that information. It's now going to send that off to something called the system checker. The system checker has been trained on all of the doctor's previous transcriptions. So there's about 5,000 of them in one of those libraries called transcriptions, which I can show you. And here you can see it's actually matching that person's diagnosis to different transcriptions in the database then. The final one to look at is called the medical note summarizer. So the consultation now happens between a doctor and a patient. There's a big recording taken of that whole session between them. And let's just go back in there. Medical note summarizer. So I need to upload the transcription between Dr. Wellman and the patient. I'm just going to say summarize this. So you can see the transcription there has been uploaded. And obviously the agent is going to reference previous transcriptions to understand the structure that the doctor likes the summaries in. So again, that's all done during prompt engineering to kind of figure that out. The final agent I'll show you, which I won't be able to test because it does take a bit of time because it's looking at a lot of information, is the PubMed researcher. So this agent is connected to the entire PubMed database over the internet and can take natural language questions and go search through it. So you could have something like, find me the latest research on cancer, and we'll go out and find that information and pull it in. Just to show you quickly in the library system, I talked about the transcriptions here, about 5,000 different transcriptions that have all been ingested by the doctor. So this is a good example of kind of how you can look at a certain domain and design various agents that really help speed up different processes.